Hey, I'm Mark Goucher, and welcome to another update video of Simplicity Investment Watch. Today is Sunday, November 17. I want to give a quick update on the buy list that I put up on the 12th, Tuesday. But first, our disclosure. We do not give financial advice, and this information is not for investment decisions. This is for educational purposes. The stock market is risky, and any trade or investment is expected to have some or total loss. The use of derivatives increases risk, investment risk or potential loss. Do your own research before any trade. Please consult a financial advisor or professional to determine what is a suitable investment profile for you, given your investment goals and objectives. So for the major markets, I have here in front of you SPY, the S&P, the ETF for the S&P 500, QQQ, the ETF for the Nasdaq, and DIA, which is the ETF for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You can see for the week is basically the high on every single one of these charts, and for each of these, it has been one of these weeks. Powell made a speech on Thursday. It pretty much spooked the markets a little as to casting doubt on how quickly or how many rate cuts will be offered in 2025. Yeah, I think he used the words, they're not in any hurry to make cuts, and every little word means so much to the market. The markets got spooked, and this right here is the Friday effect after his talk on Thursday, which is right over here on these charts. So inflation numbers this week did not show movement toward the 2% Fed target, the numbers that did come out over the last week. However, the numbers held steady. They didn't get worse. Inflation didn't move higher. So, take that for however you want to. But as I said, the three major indexes all had losses for the week, which means the tide went out and ships, for the most part, move with the tide. After the election, all of these major markets had 2 or 3% gaps. I've talked about this in a previous video. This gap filling right this area right here. This gap was from the election. This gap was a jump up from the election. So there was some significant movement upward. Now, charts usually, not always, but usually try to fill a gap prior to resuming the prior trend. So in each of these cases, we have a trend, clearly. We know this story. We have these are your trends. And this gap that I've pointed out on each of these is now looking to get filled with this downward action. So what most likely will happen is once these gaps are filled, let's see here. So when this is Friday's close, you could have another, let's measure this out. If this truly fills the gap, you have another potential for another 1 to 1.5% down in the S&P if it really fills the gap back to this starting point before the election. On the Nasdaq, the gap is about a little less than 1%. And on the Dow, that is the most significant one. If you went back to where prices were just before the day before the election, that's almost 2.8%, almost 3%. So there's some movement to be had here on the downside, the way I see it potentially. Again, not a promise, just what I'm seeing here as far as filling this gap. And so, that's the word of caution towards doing any purchases that are on the buy list. Markets should resume once these gaps are filled. They would most likely continue. So you'll have a little bit of this movement, and then maybe, well, hopefully, we have a resumption of the trend. And for the week coming up, the only macroeconomic numbers being reported that could potentially move the markets, there are unemployment claims coming out on Thursday. That obviously has a tendency to move the market. Flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI are coming out on Friday. Throughout the week, there are several FOMC members giving speeches and talking. So they too, they could have an impact depending on the words that come out of their mouths and then the market's reaction to that. Everything on my recent buy list, which I did back on the 12th, everything basically moved with the major markets with the downturn. No actions were taken for investment purposes on our part, so there were no updates to our investment actions. You can see that from these are the closing prices on Friday. When I originally put these up, I had my stop losses put in. In each case, it's getting very close to what the stop loss. These stop losses obviously are more meaningful if I was or we were in any of these positions. We're not, but it's just to show where the price has gone since this has been posted on Tuesday. DraftKings is the only one that has touched or moved into the area where I set up the stop loss at 40. Again, we're not in any of these. They remain on the buy list. I've said in prior videos, we take action based on the overall market environment or mood, if you will, and then how each one of these individual stocks look on the morning of the purchase in terms of, are they moving up? Am I starting on a positive candle? So as I go through the buy list on the charts here, they all Coupang. Now that wasn't on the buy list for 11/12. I had that on a buy list from previous prior to even put up these videos. So I am watching CPNG, ticker CPNG. This was the arrow for the 12th. So again, this Chewy moved this way. DraftKings, same story. On, down. Oracle, down for the week. Roblox, down for the week. Vertiv Holdings, down for PayPal, and Affirm Holdings, down. As you can see with each of these, as I just said moments ago, and I've said a couple times, they all moved with the market tide. I will update the buy list in the next day or two. I'll assess the overall market environment into this coming week, and I will post an update. There may be actions taken on the current buy list. I may take some things off of that buy list, depending on what happens here in the next first couple of trading days of the week. And obviously, I have others on the watch list that are coming to me daily, well, Monday through Friday, and maybe add those to the buy list. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. I mentioned before, besides this YouTube channel, I will eventually have these videos and also offer other charts and list on the website, simplicityIW.com. Right here, simplicityIW.com. It's not live yet. It's under construction. Still work in progress. So that will be updated. If you have any questions or need to reach out to me, my email's right here, mark@simplicityIW.com. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for your time. Please click on subscribe. You can set it up so that you're notified when these new videos get posted. If you truly are interested, in your best interest to know in a most timely manner as to when a buy suggestion is coming out or when we take action. Again, if you want to watch over our shoulder and learn from that. Uh, so click on subscribe. Once again, thank you. And remember, keeping things simple is really smart. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.